Aries, hi, how are you? Welcome back to Medicine Tarot. This is your July 2020 energy forecast. That's what I'm choosing to call it from now on. It's not fortune telling, it's not anything. It's how can we assist you to better navigate what's coming up for you and what's in your current life. I did a little meditation on your energy beforehand, and great news. There's somewhat of an opening happening for you in terms of how you see yourself within your community. And so if you've been struggling with certain friendships, if you've been struggling with certain like identity patterns in relationship, friends or lovers or whatever, you're starting to come into understanding how it's like all tied up, and you're starting to feel less alone and less you're starting to feel less, right? A real shift in how you're seeing yourself in relations to others. And this has been something that's been going on for you for a while now. And so even if you have like really good friends and friends are not a problem for you, maybe it was like the structure of community in your work, something around that. So and I saw this kind of just opening up into a meadow, and you're realizing that what you give out, wow, tower, wow, what you give out brings back triple fold. So it's like your giving spirit is becoming bigger, and then your receiving spirit in turn is also increasing, which is, we need both for that healthy relating skill set. This wants to happen right now. I'm going to let it happen for you, Aries. Boom. There is a breaking of chains. This is a breaking of chains for you in July. And a understanding that you do not want to continue to walk towards a specific person or a specific, like something has tested you over and over again and you are done. And so now you're like, I don't want to recognize myself as this person anymore that is not able to end relationships Hold on before I speak. Okay, sorry. You figured something out. You figure something out in July that allows this breaking of chains, and has everything to do with a specific relationship that you were avoiding, or a specific relationship that you weren't able to end. And you've started to realize, like, you weren't going down the stable path, but you weren't realizing it until now. And so when we quote unquote realize, what happens, we get clear about what actions we took, or what thoughts we were thinking, and even what words we spoke to the other person. We understand something about ourselves that may be just deeper than, oh, I feel this and you feel that. It's deeper. There's something you figured out, and I'll just leave it at that. But in terms of these relationships now, coming up for you, and getting out of this worry of, am I ever gonna find satisfaction? As I mentioned right at the beginning of the video, you're walking into a clearing, and that is because you broke the chains. So what was the chain that kept you tied to this unrecognition and instability period? Because all of these negative emotions that you've been feeling, the anxiety and the loneliness and all that stuff, right? Like, it was all percolating in your emotional body. And so the high priestess comes up, which is higher knowing, higher intuition, but she's also the gatekeeper. So you walk through a specific level, you finish a level, and I hope to see the world today, because it'll mean this cycle is finished and no more lessons. But you're gonna see, you see her in your dreams. You're gonna see the high priestess in your dreams, but it's not gonna be like her in like a female form. It's that energy. It's that energy of teaching you. And so pay attention. Pay attention. You're gonna get through this, darling. You are literally in the process of getting through it, so that you can unburden yourself too around, again, you may have been dealing with an earth sign. They're saying time is coming for you to really come out of this stuck place and for things to turn in your favor, but something had to be realized. Some chain, you had to find the way to unlock one of these chains. If you're sitting there going, yeah, that'd be great, can you tell me how? I can't, because this is a general reading and we're going to have to look at your situation specifically. But we'll keep going. Hopefully there'll be more info that enlightens the thing here, the situation here. Now, you're starting over after a relationship has ended. You're starting over after some kind of falling apart has occurred. And you are now moving into a higher ground, and here's the world. And it's all about this breaking of this chain, and it's all about the communication that you're having with yourself. Aries, now more than ever, the communication that you're having with yourself is important. Changes in love, changes in your heart chakra, changes in a rebalancing in the weight that you're carrying around your life not being it. And so, were you chasing something? Feels like, were you chasing stuff that wasn't for you, and now you've crashed, and now you're like realizing that you were chained to it because of your idealistic nature, and you're like, but I just wanted something beautiful and I thought I could create it, and like, why do I have to be punished for it? You don't, but there was a chain there. Maybe that's the answer. Like, I don't know why I got that, but like chasing a dream that's not real, I don't know. And so the real satisfaction right here, the true satisfaction, the true heart connection to source energy, and that shit that makes you feel amazing, lies not in out there chasing that dream, but in making, I don't know, it's like making your present more enjoyable. Seeing the good parts to what you have, right? Like working off of what you already got, working up, not out. And so you're coming to a place soon as well where you're not going to feel so guarded, and you're not going to feel so hurt, right? You're not going to feel so hurt. And I have the Magician down here. And the Four of Wands, like you felt like your house, the house you live in, was completely unstable. Your internal house. And this breaking of chains is about reconfiguring your perspective on what it is that you're really chasing. That's it. You know? And wow. And power comes in because of that, because of this shift. And so this breakdown of relationships and this structure of pain that you've been living inside of, and instability that came from it, you're able to get on top of that, because once you have to go through that level to understand where you're giving your power away to the thing out there, to the thing out there. And that change, like, literally brings your power back to create satisfaction for yourself, to receive, to give, knowing that you will also receive. It's like, whew, I know what this is. This is healing on a deep level, but I'm saying it's healing when you go through this level and you realize what the shift is. And so then all of a sudden, like, more magic occurs in your life, and it's beautiful and synchronistic, and you feel liberated. So we have playtime. July has you opening up, breaking these chains, going through these realizations, and really going to a place where you start enjoying your life again, and you're not so puzzled about what is satisfaction, how do I get it, who do I connect with in order to receive it. How do I put together my life? Because things have felt uncohesive. They felt like, oh, this is not cohesive, right? It's just like the dominoes are like laid out everywhere, and you're running around trying to put them together, and you stop running. That's what I meant by stop chasing. You stop putting so much work into getting stuff together. Because you learn another way of existing within your action and perspective on self and the outside world. Recognizing where you're not honored, why you let these people or things who are not honoring you have so much weight in your life, which ends up affecting your emotional body, and you close the cycle. Done. And that cycle ends on this post the breaking of chains. And really what happens is you become unguarded. And that's really what we want in love, is the way we receive is when we're not guarded, when we're not blocking receiving. So when we're working through the unblocking of receiving, we actually have to do the opposite, which is learn why we are basically mingling with people who do not actually give. And I want you to do all of this with yourself in a gentle way, in a caring, loving, and not a confrontational way with yourself, okay? Okay. There has been codependency in your life that's been wreaking havoc, and you're really growing out of that. You're healing. I don't know if I introduced myself before, but I'm a transformational coach, and which is just kind of a fancy way of saying I facilitate healing paths for people. I use psychosomatic techniques, which are the most effective because we work in the emotional and the logical body for effective and thorough healing, not just surface level talk therapy stuff. And if you're interested in that, let me know. I work with a lot of codependency, and so when I saw that, I have to say it. I was heavily codependent for like 10 years. And I understand the seriousness and the negative void that is created in your body. So I'm happy to really see this strengthening, this structure being elevated, and the vulture energy come in. The vulture eats what is dead and sick, right? The thing that keeps your song from being sung. It's the most important thing in the world, because codependency kills the first place we see symptoms of it is in your voice. And even if you're a great speaker, it means like that when others do something, they affect you to such a great degree because you don't have that boundary between you and them. And last thing I'll say, codependency is not your fault. It is a learned behavior, and we can unlearn and restructure that so you don't have to deal with stuff anymore. So if all of this is ringing a bell, I hope I hear from you. If not, there's so many wonderful things out there. Although, last tip, codependency has to be healed in the emotional body. You can't just work through it with like talking about it. Okay. What Aries is asking, what will make me thrive? How can I thrive? Not just financially, but emotionally. It's time for emotional thriving. And there's this dragon eye that your soul is percolating around this until you start invoking the domino effect of this healing. And so the camel shows up in reverse, however, and you are learning the reservoirs of self-reliance, self-love, self-support that are in your system always, in the humps of the camel, right? It doesn't need water. It doesn't need to go and drink water. It has it stored up. So it's all about seeing the stored up levels of self-support that you haven't tapped into. The reason you have been going through these difficult shit situations and relationships, that codependency was keeping you stuck. Not because you don't know better, but because you just weren't operating. You were operating somewhere else. And that's okay. It's all changing. And July just really sets it off here for you. And you're starting to break from the chains of that. And you open up into a new path where you're feeling way better, my friend. Way better. Because of death. Because of Aries, if you're still with me, whoever is listening to me, I just want to say you will have to go through death in different areas of your life and in certain areas of your thinking. Don't try to avoid it. And if you are overwhelmed, you're like, I don't know, please, I'm here, you don't have to do everything on your own. Get assistance with this, but I'm being so emphatic because I relate fully to you, sister, brother, because I've been here, and it's like this death needs to happen in the area of how you were going about assessment of others, judgment of yourself, and perspective of your worth. Let's just call it that. It must happen. It will happen. And this is beautiful to see because you're like, it's being set up for you. And I'm really proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I really am. expect powerful change. That's good. That's really beautiful. Woo! A new romantic cycle begins. Yeah. So with this new body that you're getting, emotional body that you're getting, you're going to be able to manifest a different kind of love, a more honored feeling in love. And as you're going through this change, good. The energy is gaining momentum on this death card, this resurrection, the burning down and the resurrection of you in structure, emotional structure. And so we're saying track down your fears and desires, because so much it's gaining momentum in what needs to come through for you within this second half of the year and next year. Like, you're ready to meet your soulmate. You're ready to meet your person. That's it. And the universe is doing this for you. It's so clear and loud. So I hope this served you well. Thank you for liking. That's such a gift. And subscribing, and of course, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.